What up, guys? Welcome to the Son of Wanda. A new teaser trailer for Captain America Brave New World dropped recently, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, so let's conversationalize. Alright, guys, so Captain America Brave New World, the fourth Captain America film, except this time starring Sam Wilson as Falcon / Captain America instead of like Steve Rogers, Captain America. And this movie will be coming out next year in February. And they released a trailer recently, and all of you know the current state of the MCU. You know how much it stunk for the past few years. So when it comes to this movie, I know that a lot of people are just going to be skeptical. A lot of people are skeptical. This movie has had to have a ton of reshoots. Because apparently, like, reportedly there were like test audiences that saw the movie when it first got completed, and they said it was terrible, and they've had to redo the thing. So there's just a bunch of skepticism, a bunch of negativity, and so I went into the trailer just kind of like, okay, I'm probably just gonna watch it and then just be like, whatever, you know, just because. And what stinks about that is that if Falcon and the Winter Soldier was terrible, but if Falcon and the Winter Soldier had not happened, if it never was released and you just ended Endgame and then maybe a year or two later come out with this trailer for this new movie, I think most people would have been excited and like, yeah, we get like a Falcon Captain America movie and it has some like Hulk characters in it. That could be pretty cool. Except we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that just ruined the entire vibe when it came to the Captain America franchise because of what they did with that show and just making it preachy and agenda driven and just horrible writing, and it was unnecessary because at the end of Endgame, Steve Rogers gives the shield to Sam Wilson and says, hey, guess what? You're Captain America now. Sam Wilson's like, okay, cool, I'll do my best. And then at the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's like, I don't really want the shield. I think Cap was wrong. As if he didn't accept it at the end of Endgame. So the whole show was just dumb. And so we get this trailer, and I did not expect to have nearly as many thoughts on it as I did. I ended up being a lot more conflicted than I expected to be, because there were actually a lot of things that I liked in the trailer. Overall, concerning this actual trailer, I really like the tone specifically. Like, it feels sort of like a Captain America super spy movie sort of tone, similar to Winter Soldier, and I really like that. If we're actually going back to that kind of vibe for the MCU, I'd be all here for it if it was actually good. Now, there's a lot of other details to go over. First off, General Ross. So, General Ross, obviously, he was in the Edward Norton Hulk movie. He was in Captain America Civil War. Had a quick cameo in Avengers Infinity War. He's been around a while, and he's had different positions in the MCU. Obviously started out as an Army General, went on to become the Secretary of State in the MCU, and now it appears in this trailer he's going to be President. And of course he was played by William Hurt in his previous appearances in the MCU, but unfortunately William Hurt, the actor, passed away. And so now he's being played by Harrison Ford, which is pretty crazy that they decided to get it's such a like Harrison Ford to play a character in the MCU. And what do I think of the recast choice? I think it's good. I mean, Harrison Ford, grumpy old man, General Ross, grumpy old man. It's not that hard of a sell. It's like, oh yeah. I think the issue is Harrison Ford is a lot easier to like. Like, William Hurt did a really good job at making Ross a very unlikable character, but Harrison Ford usually plays very likable characters, like heroic characters. And that brings me to my next point about Ross. It appears as though in this trailer, Falcon and Ross, if you haven't seen the trailer, go ahead and see it. Falcon and Ross seem to have more of a better relationship than what was previously established in the earlier movies, because obviously they didn't have any kind of friendship, because Ross sent Iron Man's Avengers after Captain America's Avengers in Civil War. He's largely responsible for the Sokovia Accords and dividing the team and all that, and keeping the Avengers like under lock and key, or trying to anyway. Yet at the beginning of this trailer, I mean, and granted, a lot of time would have passed in between Infinity War and this movie, or enough time to where I can see relationships changing, but it is just kind of interesting to me that they seem on better terms than they were before, especially like Falcon with Ross. That's kind of where the trailer starts off, is them talking to each other and Ross kind of bringing it up to Falcon, hey, maybe we could get Captain America to work for the government again. And, obviously Falcon's going to be skeptical about that because his working for the government didn't work out so well last time. And then Isaiah Bradley from the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, he shows up at the White House and tries to kill President Ross. It's really weird because at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it seems like Isaiah's given a pretty, nice ending to his story arc that he was given in the show. He's given a statue in the Captain America Museum to commemorate his part of the super soldier story that was, of course, added in the MCU in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it's just weird to me that they would bring him back and almost make him like a criminal of sorts, but I have a suspicion as to what else might be going on. As the trailer continues, you start to get more of this sense of like, not all the people in the government can be trusted, big shock there. Very much a Winter Soldier vibe with people inside the government being evil, like secretly evil and doing their own crazy evil schemes or whatever. And then the trailer starts to allude more to the Hulk stuff surrounding this movie. So as of now, Mark Ruffalo is not going to be appearing as the Hulk in this movie. But Tim Blake Nelson will be showing up as the leader, as Samuel Stern / the leader. And he actually does have a couple speaking lines in this trailer, and he shows up. It's just really quick, so you might not catch it. But he is in there. And I am really excited about the concept of that because I am a huge fan of the Edward Norton Hulk movie. I think Edward Norton Hulk is the best Hulk, and that movie was amazing. And in that movie, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, but in that movie, they set up the leader from the comics, one of Hulk's main villains. Samuel Stern's the leader, really big green head, insanely intelligent. They set him up. And that was in 2008 when the MCU first began. Incredible Hulk was the second MCU movie to ever release. That was a long freaking time ago, and we've got nothing even remotely hinting to the leader's existence in the MCU after they deliberately set it up in that Hulk movie. Very disappointing, but now it seems like we're finally getting the leader. And it also, there's a moment in the trailer where you see like this lab and there's this chair and this table with like straps on it and stuff, and there's some like bottles and these behind some glass and stuff, and it very much gives me the vibes of in the Edward Norton Hulk movie. There's a similar place that has like a table with straps, and it's like it's a lab, but it's a lab specifically dedicated to studying Bruce Banner's blood and messing around with gamma radiation. And of course in the MCU, the creation of the Hulk had everything to do with trying to recreate the super soldier serum, and then ended up, creating the Hulk and then Abomination and all that. So that does make me wonder how that's going to play into things concerning this film and what that laboratory really means. At the end of the trailer, you do get a clue, though, to what it actually is alluding to. And then we get, some shots of some new suits for Falcon and some fighting sequences. We also get this line where Ross says to Falcon, he's like, "You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers." And then Falcon is like, "You're right, I'm not." And maybe it was just me because other people have heard the same thing and they interpreted it very differently. But when I heard that, I was just very concerned because it felt like they're going to do the thing that they've done with a bunch of other characters in the MCU where they're like, no, this guy isn't Steve Rogers. He's better. He's better than Steve Rogers. And I'm just so sick of them replacing the characters that we love with other characters and trying to force them down our throat, like trying to force us to like them more than the previous one. Like, Falcon's an awesome character. I love Falcon. He's great. He's been great since Winter Soldier, when he first appeared. I have no problem with Falcon. I have a problem with when you try to prop Falcon up above Steve Rogers, who is the original and the mainline Captain America. He's Captain America, in the same way Peter Parker is Spider-Man, in the same way Bruce Wayne is Batman over at DC, Steve Rogers is Captain America. Falcon is a Captain America. He can become Captain America once, the mantle needs to be passed on. And I'm fine with that. Do I think that Bucky probably should have gotten it first like it was in the comics? Yeah, probably. And then you move it on to Sam. But they didn't do that. They skipped Bucky and they went with Sam. And that could have been, that could have been fine if Falcon and the Winter Soldier just didn't ruin the whole thing by making it an agenda-driven slog. And so we have this movie, and again, if there wasn't so much skepticism surrounding it because of that show, I think a lot more people would be excited, because I think the trailer overall is exciting. It does give me some like ounce point 1 gram grams of hope or whatever that this movie might actually be somewhat decent. It's just there's been so many reshoots, and at first they got the same people who wrote Falcon and the Winter Soldier to do this movie, which was like the worst call. Thankfully, I believe they changed the writers. But I am just so worried about this movie. I want it to be good. I think this movie could be great if it was done properly. Like, on the conceptual level, I think it sounds good. Unlike the Marvels, which just conceptually was terrible, and then the movie ended up being worse. But this movie could be good if they did it right. Now, one of my main issues is that it sounds like this really should be a Hulk movie. Not a Captain America film. Because all of the main side characters are Hulk characters, not Cap characters. You got Leader, you got Ross, and at the end of the trailer, you have the Red Hulk. The Red Hulk. He's in it. And honestly, I had heard rumors that he might be in this movie, but I just, in my heart, I was like, I just don't believe it. Because years ago, when Iron Man 3 was coming out, I had heard rumors that Red Hulk might be in that movie. And it wasn't it. But I've always wanted to see, because I love the Hulk side of the Marvel Universe. I love the Red Hulk and Abomination and Hulk himself and Grey Hulk, and there's a Dark Hulk. Like, when you get into all the different Hulks and his villains and all that, like, the whole part of the Marvel Universe I love, just like I love the Iron Man part of the universe and the Spider-Man part of the universe. So I've wanted Red Hulk for a very long time now, and Ross has been in the MCU for a very long time now. And so finally we're actually getting him, and I'm going to be honest, even though I'm really skeptical about this movie, when I saw Red Hulk at the end of this trailer, my jaw was kind of on the floor. Mainly because I was just really excited that they seemed to, from that 0.1 second that he was in the trailer, they seemed to do him right. He looked right. He looks like the Hulk, but red, which is exactly what you should do. Not like Maroon Hulk, not Burgundy Hulk, not Pink Hulk, not Orange Hulk, not Fat Hulk, not Professor Red Hulk or whatever. Red Hulk. It's really simple, people. It's not hard. And the reason I emphasize all of that is because all they've been doing for the past few years is being the mortal opposite of comic book accurate and taking all these different characters and screwing them all up entirely and making them not even like MODOK. MODOK is a phenomenal example. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I forget just how bad that translation from comic to movie actually was. I mean, it was like Batman and Robin level atrocious in Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania, which we do not speak of that film. But in this case, I am so grateful that it actually seems like, at least from that snippet in the trailer, that they did the Red Hulk right. You hear the roar and then you see him, and it looks awesome. Last thing to talk about in here, we also have a few images of Giancarlo Esposito as a villain in this movie, which he was only added in the movie in the reshoots, and that was only like maybe a couple months ago. It wasn't that long ago. And so the fact that they put him in the trailer is a little bit, like, it's kind of weird. Like, wow, they did that fast. They must really want to advertise the fact that he's in this movie just because he's a pretty big name. And so, I mean, I don't know. I don't think we know what character he's playing yet. It's not confirmed. I really don't want it to be just some random character because Giancarlo Esposito is a really good actor. He's Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian. He's great in that. He's also the villain in Breaking Bad. I haven't seen Breaking Bad, but everybody says he's great in that as well. I think he should play a villain in the Marvel Universe that we actually know about, not like some random assassin or whatever. And he looks kind of like sort of a generic assassin in just the trailer, but we'll see. He could be some prominent character that they just kind of interpreted differently. But overall, when it comes to this trailer, I really want this movie to be good. The trailer looked okay. It looked good to me, but we've been here before. We've been here before, specifically with Secret Invasion. I remember making my short video saying I was so excited because one of the trailers for Secret Invasion looked awesome. It looked great. It looked like they were getting back to Winter Soldier vibes, just like this one. And Secret Invasion was one of the worst things the MCU ever released. It was terrible. It already destroyed the rest of the MCU that She-Hulk didn't destroy. Which She-Hulk kind of destroyed the MCU anyway, so just had consecutive destructions of the MCU. Oh my gosh. But I still have a shred, and when I say a shred, I mean the thinnest shred of hope that this movie might actually have something to offer that is good. I want it to. I want it to succeed. I want it to succeed because it's good. Because it's good. And I would love for the MCU to come back and give us the characters that we care about, give us stories that are awesome, and you know what? Make us love Falcon as Captain America. Make us love him again, because you kind of didn't with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But that is my review, breakdown, whatever, of this new Captain America Brave New World trailer. I am very, 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 very cautiously optimistic. That is my mainline thought on the trailer. But thank you guys for watching. Have a very blessed day. May the Lord be with you. May the Force be with you. Goodbye. And that's a wrap.